Shalom everyone, this is Chris Shoemaker, also known as Yehuda Ben Shomer, and welcome to the Daily Drosh. Today's Daily Drosh is taken from Matthew chapter 6, verses 14 and 15, and I'm reading from the Jerusalem Bible, and it says, "Yes, if you forgive others their failings, your heavenly Father will forgive you yours. But if you do not forgive others, your Father will not forgive your failings either." These are the words of Messiah Yeshua. Messiah Yeshua, his words were based on the Torah, the Mosaic Law. There is a principle in the Mosaic Law, in the Torah, that talks about punishment for crimes, restitution for crimes. And it's a very familiar passage and reads like this: an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, break for break, burn for burn, scald for scald, and I'm kind of paraphrasing there towards the end. But whatever is done to the victim needs to be done to the perpetrator in order to even things out. And Yeshua uses that Torah principle in regards to forgiveness. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Yes, if you forgive others their failings, your heavenly Father will forgive yours. But if you do not forgive others, if you hold a grudge against somebody and don't forgive somebody, your Father will not forgive you. So the same principle. Same exact same. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Forgiveness for forgiveness. You want to be forgiven by God? Forgive other people. Forgive what they do to you. I mean, if Yeshua gave us the greatest example on the cross, the very people that beat him, tortured him, crucified him, nailed him to the cross, he said from that very cross to the people who did that to him, "Father, forgive them. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no clue what they're doing. Forgive them. Forgive them for doing this to me." So if we forgive others, God will forgive us. That's part of the forgiveness equation. That's a part of the eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth principle. You want to be forgiven by God? Forgive other people. There's another passage where it says, when you stand praying, and if you have something against your brother, you remember that. Leave your gift at the altar. Go and get forgiveness. In other words, if you're standing and you're trying to worship God, God's not going to accept your worship if you have something against somebody else, if you're holding a grudge against somebody else, if you're harboring unforgiveness against somebody else. Go and make things right with your brother. Forgive your brother, and then go back and worship. Because you got made things right with your brother, then you can make things right with God. Sometimes we got to get things right with our fellow man before we can get things right with God. So remember that as you go throughout your day. Thanks for listening. Shalom and Shavua Tov. Start your week out with a jolt. Join me, Chris Shoemaker, for the weekly Sunday morning jumpstart. Your Sunday sermon to start your week off right. AbrahamsDescendants.com. Getting back to the first century in a 21st century way.